In this short video clip, we are going to record or merge two data sets. The first will be data set 16, which we have cleansed all the variables. So these are all the variables, 56 variables minus these two, the ID and the relationship number. And another will be DS11 and also dataset number 8. They have merged before this, but altogether with 117. And in this dataset, they have the same AID as well, and that's why we can merge two files if you have the same AID. For this dataset, you have the AID and this one also the same AID. So they are going to merge these two files according to the same AID. Okay, so what we can do is go to data and we're going to merge files. You can select either one file. For example, you can start with this file, the S11.8, but you have to open this file at the same time. So let's say I'm at the dataset 11 here. Go to data, merge file, and there are two ways of adding it. One is to add the additional variables and one is to add cases. Add cases means that you have exactly same set of this data with the same set of variable and you are going to combine cases. But now what we are going to do is to add in more variables here. We have 117 variable here. And in this data set, we have additional 56 variable which we want to combine it into here. So go to data and merge file. We are going to add variables and we're going to match the variables from this one, the education DS16. You have to open your data set, then only you'll be able to see it here. Click continue. Okay, now we're going to do the one-to-one merge based on the key value, which is AID. So we're going to remove this. We're going to remove this from the variables here because we're not going to merge according to relationship numbers. No. And this will be all the variables. Double check. This will be all the variables after you combine from both of the file, from all of the files. Okay, and they are going to combine the cases based on the AID. If they found the matching AID, they are going to combine it together. Okay, then we're going to click OK and let it run. Once it has done, it will be merged into this file, the DS11, because you do the data merging from here initially. So you can see that initially we have 117 variables here. Now we have add in additional EL. All these EL variables are actually from DS16, which is from here. So now altogether we have 173 variables. And you can see that this empty cases is because when we have the AID that appear in one of the file, this AID appear in this file, but it doesn't appear in this file. So when they combine, you'll be seeing that this particular respondent did not actually answer the questionnaire for this set of data sets. So for H3RD variables, it would appear empty. This data, we will know that this case are actually from DS11 dataset. When you scroll behind, then you'll be able to see that they will have some data value for okay, so this is empty, means that something's wrong with the merging of the data. Okay, so we have many empty cases here, so we will need to do something on clearing all these cases when you match it. So something's wrong with the merging as well. Okay, so what you can do is actually to remove this. If you don't want to merge them, remove this first. If let's say something's wrong after merge it, so I'll just right click and clear it. then let it refresh. You should be able to see. Okay, I think okay, we don't save this file first. If you found that there are some things wrong, don't save this file first. So let's close this file. We start from the beginning again. No, I don't want to save it. So go back to open dataset, and I'm going to combine with this one, open. Okay, let's double check. Now I don't have any missing value because I've cleansed this data set, and then okay, I've cleansed this data set, cleanse variable. Okay, this is a data set that I want to combine with another data set, which is this one, this data set 16. Education variable. I've cleansed this data set. There is no missing value. So let's try it from here. DS16, go to data and merge file, add variables. And I'm going to combine with this data set. Continue. Okay, based on the key values, one-to-one merging. Okay, but I'm not going to merge according to relationship, so I'm going to remove this, and this will be the variables that I will be combining. Okay, and the star means is from this data set, and plus is from data set 5. Okay, let's double check the merge value. Okay, and let's see, right click, descriptive, statistic. We have some missing value here because maybe they do not have any relationship. Yeah, they do not have any relationship, and therefore it will be empty. Okay, but the rest of the data is okay. Alright, for example, this one might be from originally from this DS16. When you combine it with this one, when you combine it with another data set, they will not have any value for this case. So what you can do is that since we are going to analyze on the relationship, so you can right click, descriptive statistic. The missing part, I'm going to remove all the cases with missing part. After removing, I will still have valid 3,831 cases, which is enough for my analysis. So I can remove all the cases with all this empty value because I will not be able to use this case to analyze. So what I can do is go to choose the select the data. So I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to select the data, select cases because I want to remove the cases. So the cases from relationship here, if it is empty, means if it is less than 0, then I'm going to select all the cases that is less than 0, means it's missing. Something is missing. Okay, so the number of relationship number here, I can select if the condition is less than 0. Okay, sorry, I have to select the condition that is larger than 0. I have to select the condition that is larger or equals to 0. I want to remain cases that is larger or equals to 0, means those value larger or something's wrong. Let me delete this. larger or equivalent to 0. Relational operation may have two numeric or two character string operation. Compare a character string to a numeric quantity. Consider using the string or number function. Or because this is numeric, or because this is non-numerical. Sorry, this is AID. I did something wrong. It should be this one. I want to select the cases. I want to select cases, remain all the cases that is larger than 0, which means that if it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the cases will remain in this data set. Continue. So after I've selected all the cases, valid cases, I'm going to delete unselected cases. I'm going to delete unselected cases because unselected cases will be the missing part. Those without the number that is equal to 0 or larger than 0 will be the invalid cases. Okay. Done. Filter. Okay, then as you can see from here, click on the tab here. Click on this column, right click, descriptive statistic. Then we'll be able to see that there is no missing value because I have already filtered out all the cases without the numbers. Alright, so basically that's how you can double check on the statistic after you have merged two files, and you can start with your analysis now. I'm going to cleanse some of our data. Let's go to the variable view, and we can see that this are the list of the variables, and when we come back to the data view, we can actually choose one of this variable, right click, and look at the descriptive statistic. Immediately you'll be able to see the missing values here, which is in a total of 72. So let's say in this variable itself, the science level with credit year 2, we can assume that the 9992 and 9993 value in your data set will be representing that there is no science subject taken. So we can replace these two data with no science, which is equivalent to the value of 0. So we're going to do that here. So this is EASS QB2. Go to transform, record into same variables, because we are going to replace the same value into the same the value into the same variable. We are not going to create a extra variable. If you choose record into different variables, means you are going to create a new variables and copy the existing data and replace the new data into this new variable. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to create the new variables, but we're going to do it, replace it into the same variable, which is this EASS QB2. So select this EASS QB2, old and new values. So we're going to replace 9992 just now. Let me remove this first. Okay, so just now, as we can see, we have 9992. We are going to replace this with value 0, which is assuming that the missing value means that that respondent did not actually take any science subject. 9993 in this year 2. Replace with 0 as well. So all this missing value representing that that particular respondent did not take any science subject. Then click continue. So we are going to replace, again, we are going to replace this value 9992 and 9993 with 0, which means that they do not take any science subject. Then click OK. And it will execute. Then when you come back to the same variable, right click, go to descriptive statistic, and now as compared to just now, you have some missing value here, which is represented by 9992 and 9993. And now after you have replaced it with 0, this frequency has increased and there is no missing value anymore because you have replaced it with 0 value. So same apply to the rest of the variable. You have to do the same thing in order to replace this 9992. For example, again, right click, descriptive statistic. So there are 175 missing values here, and I'm going to replace it in this as well. Same apply to B4. You can click on this variable and then shift click on here, right click, descriptive statistic. This is to do the two variables together. So this is for year 3, and then year 4 as well. We have 348 missing value. So I'm going to replace it at the same time, do it at the same time. So you can actually select the two variables here, 3 and 4. Just click on it, click on shift button and select the next one, select it. All the new values, because just now we have set it, 9992 and 9993 is going to be replaced by using 0. Or I can redo it, 9992, replace it by 0. So assuming that it's missing, all the missing value means that the new value will be replaced by 0. I'm going to replace it by using 0, continue, and click OK. Executed for two variables. And then when you come back here, the 9992 just now is missing because it has been replaced by 0. So right click again and go to descriptive statistic. Now this is the new data without the missing value. That's how easy you can actually record it into the same variables to replace the missing value. There is another way to replace the missing value. Let's say we right click on this variable, go to descriptive statistic, and we found out that this is different from the previous case, in which previous case we have the missing value, so we can replace this 9993 with 0, no science subject taken. But in this case, there is no so-called missing value 9992 here. We can see that the missing value here will be 97 cases in which there is no GPA shown. So in this case, we can replace the missing value by using the mean or median. In this case, we are going to replace it by mean, which is 2.36. So you have to remember this number, 2.36. Come back to here, go to transform. We're going to record it into the same variable as well. And we're going to select this EAM GPA1, which is this one, EAM GPA1, and we're going to replace it by using different number, which is the missing value, system missing, with the value of 2.36, which is the mean of this GPA1. Click continue. We have to use system missing because we do not have any 9992 or 9993 cases here. Click 8 new, the old value will be system missing value, and the new will be 2.36, the mean. Continue and click OK. So executed, and now let's check if there is any missing value. No more missing value. The missing value should be replaced by using the mean value, which is 2.36. Okay, but this is not replaced because the missing value is represented by 9994. So in this case, we have did something wrong. 9994 still got missing value because let's go back to the variable view here in the GPA. Check this value here. The missing value is represented by 9993, 4, and 5. 9993, 4, and 5. Okay, so we're going to redo this again. Transform, record into the same variable here, old and new value. So not only the system missing value here is actually represented by the three numbers that we have seen just now, 9993. So we're going to replace by 2.36, 9994, also 2.36, and 9995. Replaced by 2.36 as well. So all these are actually representing the missing value in this variable. Okay, then click OK. Now let's double check whether we still have any missing value for this variable. Right click, go to descriptive statistic, and now there is no missing value. So in the SAV, SPSS, they are going to actually recognize this automatically, that if you have this value label of 3939495, it represents a missing value in the system. It will automatically count or calculate it as treating it as a missing value. Sometimes in some variable you can see there are too many 9992 So click on this variable 5 and B6, click on the shift button. Let's take a look at the descriptive statistic, and we found out that the total of missing is 3,000 something. It's almost like more than 90% of it. And same apply to year 6, which also means that there are so many people that do not take year 5 and year 6 subject. So in this case, we can actually remove these two variables since it will not give too much value to the analysis as well, because there are too many missing values. So in this case, let's go back to here, B5 and B6, go to variable view, B5 and B6, we're going to remove these two variables. So click on this 28. And then click on the shift button, press shift button and click on 29 and right click. We're going to clear these two variables. So now let's come back to here. We have only B1, 2, 3, 4, but no 5 and 6. So you can repeat again. The next variable, go to descriptive and check how many missing values here. If the missing value is not too much, then you can replace it with no signs taken, which is 0. But if there are too many missing value like 9992 here, then you can basically remove this variable.